Alright guys, so welcome back to Gamer Today. So today we're going to talk about the difference between Fortnite Battle Royale and Blackout, which is basically Call of Duty Black Ops 4's, Battle Royale mode. So here we go. First off, Austin died, I died. We were playing with Zombie Slayer, and this gave me the idea for this video. Now Zombie Slayer actually had a good day and took out almost the entire team all by himself, which was insane. You can watch this right, he's going to get 3 kills, he's already got 2. Now, what's kind of interesting is there's still one alive, and that person still knows where he is. So he's going to bandage up real quick, building a fortified structure. Again, very different from Black Ops, because you can't actually build anything in Blackout. You have to find somewhere to be. So in this position here, he's got some components, he's got some, resources, he can build a wooden structure. Not the strongest of structures, of course that's metal in the game, but wood builds fast, and it's not the worst thing to use early game. So he's fortified a structure, then he changed it to a door, he's put up some walls, you can see it's become kind of a battle of building now. So even though they both have guns, no one's really just firing head on, they're all building structures, and watch this, it becomes like a game of Rochambeau, or rock, paper, scissors, because he's building one structure, trying to go up, and he's building a defense. You'll see right here. And he's got 3 kills, which is pretty darn amazing if you don't ask me. So let's take a look at that last fight real quick in slow motion. So you can see zombies fortifying structures to the left and the right. Then he builds a ramp to go a bit higher than the enemy, because in Fortnite, being higher is generally a good thing, just like any Battle Royale game, but especially in Fortnite, having the high ground is definitely going to be a huge component of the game, as well as having some sort of fortifying structure. Now, he realized he couldn't do much up there, so Zombie jumped down and started shooting the structure, which was just a easy, basic wood structure. Took no damage at all to get him down. He finally jumps down after that broke and comes down from the ramp. You can see Zombie's already opened fire. He's begun again the building game. Zombie already had a fortifying structure above him, so he couldn't be jumped on from the top. Now he's got him right where he wants him. It's just a jumping game for him now. And Zombie switched over to his assault rifle and got him down, which is pretty darn amazing. Well, now let's talk about Blackout. Now, I'm way better at Blackout than I will ever be at Fortnite. That's a fact, okay? It's just probably never going to happen for me. I'm just not into the floaty mechanics of Fortnite. Yes, some of the bullets and all that are a bit floaty. In this particular game, in Blackout, it's a lot more realistic. Now, it's totally different from the actual multiplayer. Certain weapons that are effective in multiplayer will not be effective in Blackout for certain things. You got to keep in mind the difference of how far away you're shooting people, for one, and just how the weapons are going to actually evolve with this great distance. So the first kill of the game right there, got on the roof. This is early game, just got a weapon, did what I had to do. Guy had a gun, it wasn't a big deal, he couldn't shoot me from back there. I had an ABR, got kind of lucky, didn't have a scope. But anyways, there you can go, right there, you can see I had the high ground, which was a huge component of getting that early game kill. Otherwise, I'd be running on foot with him and would have been a big pain. I may never have caught him, I may not have been able to shoot him. But because I had the high ground, I was able to take him out no problem at all. Now this other kill was his other teammate, if you will, and I was able to take him out just no problem at all. He threw a cluster, I moved out of the way, I shot him, and that was an easy little kill for me. I loved it. Okay. But now let's talk about a bit more complex components of Blackout. So this is a game I had basically with a bunch of randoms, okay. One of my teammates went down, I saw him get shot down from a distance, I had run past, he was taking a sweet time. Now I'm trying to find a place where I'm trying to find the enemy, okay, so I see one of them on the roof. I open fire immediately, I don't have a scope, so I can only do what I can with this KN. But I start shooting and the gun doesn't have a lot of recoil, but every gun in this game has different recoil, just like Fortnite of course. But the thing is, getting a scope in this game is so much more important, it just is, because there's so much to basically protect the enemy, because there's a lot of structures that are already built. Yes, there's a lot of open land as well, but there are a lot of structures that are pre-existing, just like in Fortnite, but the difference is these structures do not just, you can't blow up a structure. In Fortnite, I can blow up the house that they're in. That's not the way this is, you know what I mean? I can't take out the wall, I can't do anything like that. So he's got a lot of protection, and he's going to use that protection. So I'm going to do everything I can to find a way to get to him. Right now, I've been keeping fire on him. I told my team to basically move in on him, and all my teammates decided to get killed. He only had 15 health left, I might add. So I throw that as a distraction, the Molotov, and I shoot him. He's only got 15 damage left. I had already worn him down. My teammates couldn't handle even, basically one shot, which was absolutely sad. Very sad, but that's what you get sometimes with randoms, and you get it a lot in Blackout. Let's be honest, you get it a lot in Blackout. Sometimes I get better randoms in Fortnite, especially. I've actually had a win with some randoms, so I know for sure Fortnite definitely has some better randoms. Not to say Blackout doesn't have good people to play too, it's just, wow. So anyways, you can see the looting mechanics a bit different, it's a little bit slower. Of course, I'm going into the bag and I'm looking and I'm deciding, because there's all these different things I have to consider. What bullets one gun takes, what bullet the other gun takes. And I also have to think about, well, what components on that gun do I need? Do I need a rifle with a long barrel? Do I need something close range? Do I want 2 far range weapons? Do they both take the same bullets? Things like that. What's the recoil like? Do I need a backpack? Of course I need a backpack. But, you know, basic things. Extension barrel, suppressor barrel. You can only have one or the other. Now, watch this. I get the other kill here of his other teammate who found out where I am, and he's scared shitless. So I got him. Okay, got him from a distance with the auger. Now his other friend comes out. I'm like, oh my god, no! I run to the left. I come back over, I was going to heal a little bit, but then I'm like, no, forget it. I'm going to go bolt the guns blazing. I used my concussion, shot him in between the concussion, got his other teammate. Then I went up, and I got my victory kick. Well, my victory smack with the gun, and I loved it. So then, to make matters better, okay, so I've already gotten 3 kills this game. I'm pretty happy, is it? So I go, I'm making all this noise. I'm thinking, oh god, right across the river. I couldn't figure out how to get up. Okay, big flop right there. So anyways, I really don't have everything I need, but I do have a lot of medikits. So I'm just like, well, let me scope out a little bit. I'm like, I thought I saw something. Did I see something? Yes, there he is. Okay. Well, I'm going to follow him. It's like, should I open fire? No, of course not. So I've got my auger ready. So I'm going over there, right? Now I've kind of lost sight of him, I thought, because I'm like, there's no way he's just going to the other building. I'm using stealth. I'm crouched down. I'm very, low. And then start running, and I'm like, oh, whoa, is that you? Oh, that's you. Bye! So I shot him in the head and I shot him in the body, but I shot him so fast that I actually killed him instant kill. When you see the red kill immediately after killing them, that means you've instant killed them basically. That is awesome. They cannot be revived. Gotta love it. While it may be obvious to most of you guys, even before clicking on this video, I will say that Fortnite's building mechanics, the fact that buildings can be destroyed, the fact that building can be made, the fact that everything can be changed and altered by the player inside the world is totally a big component. You can de-level a whole city in the game, or whole forest. You can de-level everything. But there's no more trees, there's no more buildings in that entire town if you took the time. Blackout, you don't have that option. So it's totally different. You're constantly looking for doors open, vehicles turned on, with the backlights, because when someone gets in a vehicle in Blackout, the lights will stay on, stuff like that. You're looking for clues, things, broken windows, anything like that, anything to give you a clue someone was there. In Fortnite, it's not like that at all, because you don't really have windows to, look at that are broken. You don't have any, doors. I mean, doors can be open and closed, just like in Blackout. But most people generally use the window in Blackout because it's a lot faster, and it's not the quietest way, but a lot of people seem to do it, okay? So there's things like that, mechanical door sounds, there's tons of different sounds that you could hear in Blackout that you don't hear in Fortnite. However, you do hear a lot of footsteps in Fortnite. There's a huge focus on footsteps in Fortnite. But I will argue that in Blackout, there's a huge focus on footsteps too. But I will say, primarily in Fortnite, footsteps is a huge component of it. Obviously gunfire, obviously picking up things, such as like, looting a body, stuff like that. It all sounds in both games. You hear it in Blackout, you hear it in Fortnite. But in Fortnite, it seems like it's a bit louder. When someone starts picking up loot, you really do hear it. When someone breaks something, you hear it. Someone heals up, you start to hear it. Things like that, you do hear all these sounds, and they're very loud. So there's a huge focus on that. But again, when it gets to you see the enemy, they see you, it generally ends in that kind of rock, paper, scissors like building. Someone's got to build something. They can't just fight one-on-one, they must build something. And that's a big problem for anyone in the game who's not good at building, like myself for that matter. But the whole point is, if you don't learn how to build at least somewhat in Fortnite, at least build the basic structures and get used to it. Being able to do it on the fly, you'll never be good at it. So it kind of makes you have to learn another strategy besides being good with the guns. You have to learn the building mechanics. In Blackout, you have to be good at basically listening, hiding, fighting, shooting, looting, being fast about what you do, yet quick, quiet, things like that. You need to know your playstyle. You need to know your team if you're playing in a squad, stuff like that as well. And that's very important. Same with Fortnite, it's always good to know your team, but the whole point comes down to it's one-on-one. These buildings are structures that are currently existing in Blackout. You basically cannot blow them up, you cannot break them. You may be able to blow up the, vehicles, you may be able to shoot things like that, but you can't blow up a building, you just can't do it. Now, that's my whole point. You need to be careful what you do in this game, because if you're in an open field, there's no building to save you. There's no building anything to save you. So you better stay close to something, or at least have a B plan if someone opens fire on you. Versus Fortnite, where if you have the resources, you can make that building on the go. That building had just appeared because you built it out of nowhere. Now, that's my point, okay? So the building mechanics are very different, and how you see buildings in Fortnite as, non-permanent structures, whereas in Blackout, you see it as a permanent structure because it cannot be destroyed. The enemy only has two choices: throw grenades at you, burn you, well, not two choices, but a few choices: burn you, throw grenades at you, come in the building, or, trying to find somewhere to get you out of the building. That's it. That's all they can do. They can't blow up the walls, they can't, destroy the whole building on you. They can't do that. There's no possible way. So that's what I'm saying. You know, if you guys understand these concepts of these two games, and you understand why they're different, you might understand why both of these games are fun in their own right, and why both of these games deserve a little bit of respect, because they're great games, honestly. Anyways, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe and like the channel. And if you do, tell your friends. I do appreciate the views, and I do appreciate the comments, guys. Tell me your favorite game down below between the two. Do you like Fortnite, or do you like Blackout? And why? If you like both, tell me why anyway.
We either need to grab our dicks and realize what the fuck is this, or we need to actually protect our base.